Now, working at Target, when I got hired on that Target, I assumed that I was going to be going into that role doing the same exact thing that I was doing at Walmart. And that was not the case. They made it known. Like they were direct. They were like, we don't want you touching nothing in here. We want bodies. We don't want you doing nothing else. We want you to bring in bodies. We need apprehensions. That's all you need to be focused on as an APS. All the internal stuff that, we did at Walmart, we don't do it here at Target. All the administrative stuff that I was doing at Walmart, wasn't doing it at Target. At Target, they have their own people. Like, there's somebody for everything. So your TSSs, they will go and spider wrap high theft merchandise and do audits, video review, of why things is missing, whatever. Your ETL is going to be solely responsible for, the internals, things like that, audits on the front end, shit like that. You feel me? But you, as an APS, let me tell you something. If you go on the Target to work as an asset protection specialist, the least of your worries is having to worry about what is and what ain't spider wrap, what is and what ain't locked on a lock and peg hook. They want you bringing in bodies. One of the things that I did, that I've always done, is when I'm going around and I'm checking this high theft merchandise, and I'm not just checking to see if it looks like it's been wrapped up. Like, if it looks like it's wrapped, I don't care. That's not enough for me. I need to go over there and I need to pull on it. I need to yank on it. You feel me? To make sure it is actually secured. That is the only way that you're going to know that that merchandise is actually secured, is actually trying to, take off the spider wrap, play with the lock and peg hook, see if it's actually secured. You feel me? Things like that. So these are things that I've always done when I went into every department. I would just play with stuff like I'm a shoplifter, just to see how easy it is or difficult it is to take, things off the high theft merchandise. You feel me? So going into Target as an APS, it is good. They do have a good training plan for APs. They do have meetings, which I think, is very important. I mean, Walmart, they have meetings as well, but like, I will say that Target's security training, APS training, is more advanced than Walmart. It is way more advanced than Walmart. They dive deep into the mental, emotional state of shoplifters. When we make the apprehensions, from the time that we make that apprehension till the time that we release them. Like, so they really dive deep into making you and helping you understand, like, the mentality and the emotional state that these people are going to be in when you come across them. So they do give good game on that. They do have good training. Now, like I said, they don't want you to do anything outside of bringing bodies in. So when you go into Target, you will have to go in, you will have to train for X amount of weeks, maybe months, depending on how fast you catch on. But your sole responsibility is going to be bringing in bodies. So not only learning that book work, I'm always stressing, learn that book work, because knowledge is power. So gain the knowledge, but also just be learning the floor, learning what, common shoplifters look like, learning how people come in dressed, looking like they won't steal, but they come in to boost. You feel me? And that was one of my hardest things. Like, when I went to Target, I will say that because I had broken records. I had set records. You know, I was #1 in the division, the market when I was at Walmart. I thought I was going to go into Target and I was going to set it off from the jump. You feel me? And it didn't play out like that at all. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I'm going to be straight raw with y'all. You feel me? Like, it was not like that at all. It took me a couple months to catch on to, you know, how Target shoplifters was boosting and shoplifting compared to, you know, being at Walmart. Because at Walmart, I could pick these people out of a lineup. Now, when I got to Target, it more upper class, so, you know, everybody looked like they had money, but we was seeing a lot of loss, and we was being hit like all the time. And so it took me a while to catch on to, you know, they shoplifters. And I'm gonna be real raw, like I said, being real raw. And I felt a certain type of way at first, because when I got over there wasn't nothing but just, you know, white folks. So I was like, damn, like, how am I gonna catch shoplifters in here? You know, it ain't nothing but white folks. Like, you know, and I don't want to just make it seem like I'm coming after white folks. You feel me? Like, at Walmart, there's a diverse of people that I could come after. At Target, it's a different story. Like, you know, a lot of the people that I caught at Target were white. For the first time in history. I felt like some type of way doing that job because it was no diversity. So I think that was part of the reason why it took so long to catch on, because it was just one race. Now, like, there was a couple times where you would get a few of my people in there, so they stuck out like a sore thumb all day, every day. So, of course, like, I was on that. Like, fuck that. No, y'all not about to watch my people. I'm going to go out to the floor and I'm going to watch them. Fuck that. Because if they did it, then they did it. But y'all not about to sit here and, nah, we're not playing that bullshit. Watch out. It took a while, but once I caught on, once them couple months went by, and I was like, okay, this is how they dress. This is the mannerisms they are showing. Like, this is what they like to do. Like, they like to go to self-checkout. They like to go over here. I'm like, okay. So once I started picking up on how they were shoplifting at Target, it was game over. You know, like, that's when I got introduced to, like, okay, they work in groups over there. Target shoplifters, they work in pairs at the very least, because they got one doing the dirt, and then they have the other one walking around the whole entire store looking for APs, specifically looking for APs that are watching the main subject who's doing the dirt. So once they find us hiding behind a shelf, hiding at the other end of an aisle, they'll call the main subject and let them know, hey, so-and-so is watching you. This is where they at. You feel me? And you know this is how they moving, because when you watching them, right, you'll see them on the phone. You'll see them on the phone. A great distance. They will turn where you are and they will look straight at you. And that's how you know. That's how they moving in there. So once I caught on to that, I was like, all right, bet. You feel me? Bet. Game over. And then after that, it wasn't no stopping me. I was back to my normal self like I was at Walmart, bringing them in. Go into this Target role as asset protection. Be patient. It will be frustrating at times. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. Some days are longer than others because time just drags. Sometimes just the time just feel like it ain't going nowhere. So you will have them long days. You will have them slow days. But be patient. Learn the book work. Utilize the floor. Like, utilize the whole store. Really want access to a place, we could gain that access. You feel me? So the best advice I could give to you is use the whole store to your advantage. Don't just use the sales floor. Use the whole store. There were times where somebody went down the grocery department, right? And we didn't have camera coverage down, let's say the milk aisle or whatever. So you know what I would do? I would go to the back room, to the refrigerator, that big ass refrigerator, and I would go and watch them from behind all the milk. They just selected milk and they don't know that I'm on the other side watching their ass. They don't even notice me. They don't even notice that I'm right behind the milk watching them, staring right at them. You feel me? And so utilize that whole store. There are so many times I went into Frozen Dairy, watched somebody from the double doors. You just got to get real creative with it. You got to utilize the whole entire store to your advantage. You feel me? To keep observation, because you got to know at the end of the day. You got to know. So, yeah, I mean, be patient with it. Be willing to learn. Have fun with it. Like I said, you don't have to do as much administrative stuff like you would have to if you was working at Walmart. You got people who are doing that now. For your internals, you know, in a place like Walmart, if you are an AP and you're catching internals, you're earning brownie points, like for real, big brownie points. And then you will let your management know, like your boss, not management, but the APM or your AP coach know, and then they'll take it from there. Now, see, it's the same thing at Target, is that like, okay, your ETL is going to be responsible for all the internals. So they got that locked down. Now, if you see something and you bring it up to them, they may or may not already be on that person, but you know, let them know anyway, just so that they know that you see it. You feel me? Like, and that earns you brownie points as well. But that internals, that's all on the ETL. So the only thing you got to do is bring in them bodies. So focus on your footwork, focus on, you know, keeping distance, how you can keep your distance, your observation from a certain amount of distance. Use shelves, use the little holes in the shelves to your full advantage to keep observations, or, you know, to watch somebody from the other side of the shelf. You know, like, you got to get real raw with it. You feel me? And understand that all Target location have PTZ cameras. So you're going to have a team. You're going to have a team. And that's the other thing I like about it, because for a while in my career, I went without a team for a good amount of time, which I will talk about in a later video. But when you get to Target, you got you a whole team. You got 2 TSSs, and then you have an ETL, plus yourself. Now, when I got to Target, I had an ETL and I had 1 TSS. So there was 3 of us, which was cool. You feel me? Like, I always had somebody that could, you know, come and make apprehensions with me. So that's what I liked about it. So when you were watching somebody on the sales floor, you are always going to have a TSS or your ETL, or even both, in the office at the same time, doing the camera work, helping you keep observation while you're keeping observation on the sales floor. So you don't have to be as close. You don't have to be as close as you would have to be if you were in a store without PTZ cameras. See, it's only when you don't have PTZ cameras that you need to be close up. You know, you need to keep you need to keep that man press type coverage on them. You feel me? Like, you got to be on them, because you got to know that they are still in possession of merchandise when they walk out that door. You feel me? Now, when you got a team at Target, you got that PTZ work. You know what I'm saying? So let the cameras help you out. You keep your distance. Y'all going to be on the phone communicating with each other, so everything is going to flow exactly how it need to flow. So just come up with ways that you could make apprehensions using your team. Like I told y'all in the last video, like, I always use my TSSs as a diversion. So I would have them come in from the front. I'm making that first approach and I'm coming from the back. You feel me? depending on what the scenario is, though. You feel me? Like, if somebody's pushing out, then, you know, I'm the first one to them. You know what I mean? And as an APS, you got to understand that when it comes to having TSSs, like, they are not supposed to make that first contact when you make an apprehension on a shoplifter. You are the one to make the first approach. Like, when it comes to making an actual stop, hey, loss prevention, I went so-and-so, you need to come with me to the office. You are the one that needs to make that approach. But you can use your TSSs as a diversion. You feel me? That's what I do. But I'm making that first approach. And if we going hands-on, then I got my team with me. But I know I always tell people, you know, to go hands-on in a lot of situations. And I know people are like, oh, I don't have to go hands-on, you know, as often. And that might be cool for the area that you in. You're probably not seeing a lot of theft. So if you work in a, you know, suburban area, or you don't work in a more hostile area, you're not going to have to go hands-on. It's only when you working in these urban, ghetto-ass, rough-ass neighborhoods where you know you're going to have to go hands-on, period. Like, that's just what it is. You feel me? But that's what I'm comfortable with. You feel me? Everybody ain't comfortable with that. But that's what I'm comfortable with, because, like, I grew up around it. So that shit don't faze me. I'm just like, it's just another day in the neighborhood type. You know what I mean? Like, it don't faze me. You feel me? It's just another day. That's how I look at it. So anyway, being a APS at Target it's real smooth. It's a real good job to have. You got a team. Number one. Number two, the only thing they want you to do is catch bodies. That's it. Bring in them bodies. That's all they want you to do. That's all they need you to do, is just be great. You feel me? Nothing more, nothing less than that. That's all it is to it. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out to the Eagle family. Thanks for tapping in. I want to give a shout out to the APAs out there. Happy hunting. It's your boy Eagle I. Miller. Till next time, raw and unscripted.